Yeah, selling or buying can be so stressful.
Well, especially if you're doing both at the same time.
Moving forward with the Dekker Team. Moving forward together with the Dekker Team.
We are honored that we've been able to create for you free access to over 653 Life's Inside Track episodes where we share insider tips, making house home, how to build wealth wisely. And the great news is you can get access to them from anywhere and it's free. So if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, our YouTube channel, the Dekker Team YouTube channel, make that happen today. So we are in a weird place today, continuing this interview where we're on the hot seat rather than not. So Care from CHRI is continuing to, I'm going to say the word that comes up for me is drill me.
No,
it's gentler than that.
Draw us out was the word I was thinking.
Hey, this is like free counseling for me. Like I'm getting so much from this. So I'm going to keep pulling out these questions for you. But I love that you brought up stress because it's true. I've been in that position of selling and buying. I don't know why, but we did it during COVID. Added the stress on that. But it's an emotional process. So why is it important for a realtor to be able to kind of navigate that with you, to have someone you can trust to go through the emotional, maybe possibly one of the most emotional times in your life?
Well, and that's an emotional time even when there's no duress or hardship. That's the like even in a happy, easy time where you just want to move from one home to another, whether you're choosing to move into something a little bit bigger, or maybe the kids have moved out, so now you're downsizing maybe, or you could be like us and you upsized when the kids left. We call it right-sized. Even when it's a happy thing, it's really crazy hard. And never mind when it's a duress situation, which whether it's financial or marital or health, I mean, those are hard. Mm-hmm. And so having someone, can I say it so bold? Having someone that actually gives a rip, that actually cares not just about having you move, but about the bigger picture for you.
Yeah, I think what you're trying to say when you say give a rip is there's really two types of realtors out there. There's transactional realtors and relational realtors. And transactional agents, they may be good at what they do. They're good at the contract. They're good that way. But they don't necessarily understand the emotional needs, the latent needs that people are going through, that they don't know what to ask. They don't know how to settle the nerves. Mm-hmm. But if we've done it so much that we can go, oh, we better tell them this right now at this stage, because that's going to settle the nerves. Or we really care about the person. We care about the transaction too, because we're excellent at what we do. But then there's a relationship side, and that's what we really spend some time and make sure that that's taken care of. And even after the sale, we're still there. Mm-hmm. We invite them to events and different things because we want to carry on the relationship. That was one of the reasons I got out of retail. I was, doing great in retail management, retail sales, but it wasn't relational. Like someone come in for, at the time, a VCR or an answering machine. I know those are weird words,
I love it.
But at the time, upgrading them to a better quality one or something, but it was a 10, 15 minute process. There wasn't time to build a relationship.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think it's too, you talk about emotional times, like you're better at listening to them if you have that relationship. I think when we're emotional, we feel unheard, especially when it comes to buying a house. There's things that you want and you're looking for, and you can actually say, we're hearing you, and this is what we feel that you need right now. And yeah.
And well, typically what we'll do, and I'm just thinking about a client I was out with this weekend, probably 6 stories I could already share from this one client that I was able to meet their emotional requirements in the moment. In one of the sessions we were out showing, it had been taking a while. It was hard to find quite the right one. And although they had some clarity, they didn't have to make a move. So sometimes when you don't have to make a move, but you want to make a move, that creates its own emotional energy. And so we were in yet another property, and she said, it feels a little bit maybe like this is a therapy session. And I said, well, yeah, it kind of is.
Yeah.
Because you're going to need to go back and utilize, and we've talked about this in so many of our segments, but utilize the Post-it note system to really get clear about what it is you want, why you want it, because you're wavering. So now let's go deeper in that. And then the other thing she actually said to me just when we have found the right house now, she said on the weekend, I'm so grateful that you told me to look at worst case scenario in terms of what my home might sell for because they were selling and buying. And she said, because you've done that, this part of the negotiating is super easy.
Yeah.
And if you hadn't done that and she hadn't taken the counsel because she had to do the work, I would be floundering right now. So asking, clients to do what might be uncomfortable to move them ahead, you can't do if they don't trust you.
Yeah.
And you know how I could tell it was relational? Because we had helped them about a year ago kind of prep their home. What should they do to get it ready? And then some of the things they delayed because it wasn't imminent. They hadn't found the right property. And then when they did and they got their offer accepted conditional on selling their home, she said, oh, you don't have to come before photos. We're okay. And Yetta said, no, we're going. And so we came, and you can tell the emotional need was there because when they showed up, she gave me a big hug. And that's not normally what you get in a transactional real estate agent, right? She gave me a big hug, and it was like, oh, thank goodness you guys are here. And then we walked through the final touches to get it ready for photos.
Now, I know just as we kind of wrap up this part of the story, because I do love that you guys have examples of this, people are asking questions. They don't know what to do next. So I think you guys have an option for them when they are dealing with whether it's emotion or just a practical step. What can they do?
I even do it?
They can call you. Yes.
Right. They can call, and it's just a 15-minute clarity call. And it just gives you a chance to have a sounding board. And so all you have to do is actually call us. You can email us at together@dekkerteam.com. You can just go to the website, dekkerteam.com, and there's a click button, and you just tell us that you want to have a clarity call, and we'll arrange a quick chat just to see what is next. Right?
And because you care and it's relational, then they can trust that that's the best next step for them.
Well, they'll have options.
Yeah.
So we generally don't tell them what they have to do. We will say, based on what you're saying, this is what we're hearing. So here's some counsel. And these 3 things are probably the best options.
That's good. Yeah. This is what this is what we're hearing you say. That's important.
Yeah. It's interesting you said, what's next? And that's one of the things we attempt to do to our best ability is like email communication, text communication, or voice communication. When they're in the middle of a transaction, we will attempt to put at the end of the email, this is what will happen next. Because when they know what's going to happen next, they feel in control.
Yes.
And it drops the stress level quite a bit.
That's good.
And you said latent before. And I know I said that to one of my clients just this past weekend. And she looked at me like,
what's that word mean?
What does it mean? What does latent mean? And in this particular example was I brought 3 extra water bottles with me for taking samples. And somehow I used the word latent because she didn't even know she needed that yet. And so it's just addressing the need before the person even knows they have it. And she would have had it later and then panicked that the water sample wasn't handled. I said, take a water sample before the softener and take a sample after the softener because now you know whether the water actually needs to go through the UV filter. Right? Like they're just things that you couldn't know if you didn't know.
And now they have a friend they can call and a family member they can call.
Yeah.
So selling or buying starts with trusting someone to see that not only the value of your home or the one you're buying, but to intrinsically see your value. And we're glad that we can be clarifying your options because when your options are clear, your wisdom will flow.
Moving forward with the Dekker Team. Moving forward together with the Dekker Team.